And good morning. It is December 4th, and it's a Tuesday morning. This is WGTV Today and Wayne Goldsboro Television. I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best. Good Tuesday morning.
Good Tuesday morning is right. Boy, we have got a full day today.
We do.
We're really excited. The City Council met last night.
They did. They met last night over at the council chambers, and all of that was happening live. Of course, it has been taped, and you can find that on the City of Goldsboro's YouTube and Vimeo channels, and there's access right there from our website, which is goldsboronc.gov. It's also on our Facebook page, so if you haven't liked the Facebook page, go on to Facebook and like the City of Goldsboro, and you can watch that.
Also today, the Wayne County Commissioners have their meeting today.
This morning.
It's a big day today for County Commissioners. This morning they will be meeting in courtroom number 1, the historic courtroom number 1 here in the Wayne County Courthouse. And the meeting gets underway, the unofficial meeting gets underway, the briefing gets underway at 8 o'clock this morning. The official meeting, the formal meeting, gets underway at 9 o'clock this morning.
Y'all have something special.
We do. Today we'll be swearing in the new board, the county commissioners.
That's right.
Those newly elected and those incumbents returning to the session, to the board, will be sworn in this morning. And that session begins at 9 o'clock this morning in courtroom number 1 here in the Wayne County Courthouse.
That's the historic courtroom.
Historic courtroom number 1.
It's a beautiful courtroom.
It is that. It is absolutely beautiful. And every time I see Arnold Jones sitting in there, I can almost imagine his father.
Dad,
yeah, sitting there as well. But it's on the 3rd floor of the courthouse, and everybody's invited to attend. Come on down.
But you all will be filming it as well.
We will, and if you can't be there, and if you want to see it, it will be on our YouTube site as well.
That's right.
All right.
Well, you know, we're having trolley rides tonight downtown Goldsboro.
I'll tell you what,
Isn't
that is
great?
so much fun. Yeah.
That we're going to have those throughout the month of December on Tuesday and Thursday nights. They'll be happening.
Tuesday and Thursday?
Well, Megan talked about adding that Thursday. Matter of fact, I need to find out if she did at DGDC. Let's just say Tuesday nights for now.
Well, we know it's going to be tonight.
Yes, it's definitely
Tuesday
tonight.
nights.
Every Tuesday night
Up
through
until
Christmas.
Right.
And they are going to, you'll load right over there on the corner of City Hall. And you'll drive all the way, you'll ride all the way downtown and look at the beautiful lights and be able to just sort of be together and enjoy a trolley ride in your own community. And how neat is that? Of course, you know, we hear about people doing that in New York and other cities and in Charleston, but look, you can do it right here in Goldsboro, North Carolina.
Yeah, who needs New York?
That's right. We have beautiful, big, gorgeous horses, and you're on a nice trolley, and we've done that since we had lights up downtown.
That's right.
A week or so ago, so.
You know, these are enormous, beautiful Belgian draft horses, and they are gorgeous.
They are.
You will enjoy it.
Yeah,
and
it's pretty special. Yeah, it's free of charge.
And it doesn't cost anything either. How about that?
Are you happy today?
I'm happy.
I see that.
Okay, I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy every day.
Well, do you listen to a lot of Christmas albums during this month?
Actually, you don't have a whole lot of choice because that's about all you're going to hear.
You're right.
Yeah, I think I do. I enjoy Christmas music.
Who do you listen to mostly?
Christmas music wise?
Yeah, special artists that you listen to?
Well, there's, everybody sings the traditional stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But I prefer the artists who are most associated with Christmas music when you hear them. Johnny Mathis, Bing Crosby, of course, Karen Carpenter, the Carpenters.
That's just who I'm
Louis
talking.
Armstrong.
Oh, yeah. The classics.
The
Once
classics.
again, you love the classics.
Yes, I do. There's some, though, and of course, coming from the field I was in before coming here, I listened to a lot of Christmas music, and I programmed a lot of Christmas music, but some of it was good, and some of it was
Bing Crosby will always be, in my mind, one of the best.
White Christmas, written by Mel Torme, and of course Torme did a great job singing that as well. But that is the song that epitomizes Christmas.
I agree. But I love Michael Bublé.
I like Bublé as well.
I love his music.
He's very talented.
And at Christmas, his are just fantastic.
Yeah.
And I love James Taylor.
I like James Taylor.
He has good Christmas music.
Yeah.
Let's see. And actually, you may not have heard this, but do you remember the TV show Glee? Have you ever seen that? Well, I'm a theater buff, so it's not on right now.
Oh, okay.
Just reruns.
Well, I knew I'd heard of a TV program called Glee.
Yes. Well, it's all about theater and that. Anyway, they had a Christmas album that they recorded last year, and I tell you what, it is great. They had some phenomenal voices on that show. Yes, they did. And they have an album out. It's been out for a couple years now, and I listen to that and love it. Every year I'm amazed when I hear that album, when I listen to it over and over, how great they really were.
Yeah.
But and there's lots of others that I listen to, but
Mannheim Steamroller.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic.
Frank Sinatra.
Okay. Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra is a great one. I mean, and it's a classic, but it is
yeah.
fantastic.
There were so many.
Nat and Natalie Cole.
Natalie Cole, yeah. Nat King Cole was, he's one of my favorites anyway.
That's in my car.
Is it really?
It's in my car. It's great.
The Mills Brothers.
I don't know them.
Oh, yes, you do. You
I?
just don't know you do.
Okay.
But yeah, you do. Mills Brothers were so fantastic. Even Jimmy Durante sang Christmas and did a great job with it.
Oh, and Rod Stewart. He has a really good Christmas
Rod
album.
Stewart
Well, he has good albums, period, but he has a good Christmas album.
I'm a Rod Stewart.
Well, he's got one coming out this year.
Rod
He's
Stewart?
got he has a new album, and they said for more than 40 years after his first solo hit single, the rock singer Rod Stewart is releasing his first ever Christmas album this year.
Whoa.
Yeah,
How
first
about that?
ever.
How about that?
So look for Rod Stewart. And there's some neat little trivia about Christmas albums. Scotty McCreery has a Christmas album coming out this year. Of course, the American Idol winner.
Right.
Let's see. James Taylor has a new one coming out this year. He jazzes up Winter Wonderland, and Santa Claus is coming to town. And let's see. Olivia Newton-John and John Travolta are reuniting for the first time since the movie Grease they did together.
Really?
To make a Christmas album. Yeah. Barbara
Really?
Streisand's going to be on there, and Tony Bennett, and his is another good one.
He's another good one.
Yeah, they're going to team up with them and be on their Christmas album. Go figure.
Really? You know, Tony Bennett had an album out a few years ago called Duets.
Uh-huh. I've heard about that.
And when he, in fact, if I'm not mistaken, Michael Bublé was one of his...
I think my husband has that CD, matter of fact. He loves to hear Michael Bublé and all those older those guys that play the older, more classic style music.
Yeah, yeah. Harry Connick Jr. is
Oh,
another.
goodness, yes.
Yeah,
and who's the saxophone player?
Kenny G?
Yes, he has a good Christmas album.
Yeah.
So if you haven't purchased your Christmas album, we've just talked for 10 minutes about great albums. Some are coming out at a store near you.
That's right. Send $29.95 now, and we'll send you 2 albums.
Exactly.
That's
Just
right.
kidding, of course.
Operators are standing by. No, don't send anything. We're just kidding around here.
But so it's great to hear that kind of music. Of course, during this season, it kind of gets you in the spirits.
It does get you in the spirit, and I don't care what you say. I don't care how hard-nosed you are.
Yep. What a Scrooge you are.
It will turn you around. You listen to it enough.
What choice do you have?
You don't have any choice.
That's right.
There you go.
Well, who's first up today?
Okay, first up today, I'm really happy about the first appearance with Trooper Benny Grady. He's with us today, this morning. Trooper Grady is with the North Carolina Highway Patrol. I've known Benny for many years, and he's just a great guy.
He is a good guy. Very passionate about his community.
He's very passionate about his job and the community. You're right about that. And I think once you hear what Benny has to say, he comes across a little unexpectedly. Just listen to Benny Grady, Trooper Benny Grady of the North Carolina Highway Patrol, up next on WGTV. My friend Trooper Benny Grady of the North Carolina Highway Patrol is with us, and it's always great to see you.
Absolutely, great to be here, Wayne.
Man, you guys do a wonderful job.
Man, thank you.
You really do.
We appreciate that.
We're so proud of our state highway patrol that I just can't say enough about it. You guys, I don't know how you do what you do, but you get the job done.
We do, and sometimes we ask the same questions.
Do you?
You know, so yes, sir. Yeah.
Well, Benny, here we are. It's the holiday season. People are feeling good about the holiday season, and in fact, a lot of people will be traveling to go see grandma, go see relatives, or just go out and just drive across town to look at the lights. But it's also a time that people may not pay attention to what they're doing. What do we need to be doing this time of year during the holidays to drive and make sure that we're safe on the highways?
You just said the key word, paying attention. Key word is everything. That paying attention, that is a cover-all for our speed, making sure that we're seatbelted in the cars, mainly looking out for those who are not trying to look out for us. We're all diverted by different things, eating. You know, it's the small things, and sometimes it's very tragic. You know, some of the worst case wrecks that we have are just those simple moments where people are not paying attention, and it gets them. And, you know, I went to a wreck this morning. It was involving two teenagers, and both of them admitted to me that it was just ironic that both of them at that same moment were not paying attention.
Wow.
And if one of them could have been paying attention, maybe the wreck could have been avoided.
Could have been avoided.
You know, so I think that paying attention is the big word.
I don't think people realize the short amount of time they have to react to a situation. Before you know it, it's on top of, or you're on top of it.
Absolutely.
Somebody coming into your lane, or there's a car stopped in front of you. If they're not paying attention, they don't have time to react.
Reaction time is, you know, most reaction time is about 3/4 of a second. And if you're traveling, you know, the speed limit, or whatever the speed limit may be, it's just not a lot of time to react, period. It doesn't matter where you're at or what speed zones you may be in.
Even a 20-mile-an-hour speed zone is you're driving slowly, and thank goodness cars nowadays are comfortable. You don't
Absolutely.
realize how fast you're going at 20 or 35 or 50 miles an hour.
Right. Makes a big difference. We all need to be paying attention.
It does. It
Yes, sir.
does. Now, overall, how would you grade here in Wayne County or in your area? How would you say we do as far as our driving goes, just in general?
I'm going to say it's progressively getting worse every year.
I was afraid you were going to say that.
Yeah, Wayne County is it's a great place. This is a beautiful county to work in. I'm very blessed to be a part of this county. Years ago, I used to work in Johnston County, and Johnston County is known for its just wide open. It's a busy county.
Yeah.
It's a central place where a lot of travelers travel through. And when I used to work in Johnston County, our communications, I would hear what was going on in Wayne County, and back then there wasn't a lot of activity going on in Wayne County as far as the amount of call volumes, you know, whether it be car crashes or people broke down and stuff like that. But today, man, things are so different. Today I feel the same as I did back then when I worked in Johnston County. Wayne County is just it's a very busy county. It's really tough on us troopers here in Wayne County. Our number one problem is manpower. We just don't have a lot of help. We'll always ask everybody, if you know your local legislators and anybody who could help out, we need help so we can get out and help others. A lot of times people are asked, or you'll catch people in conversation talking about, well, if you know, as a trooper, if you could be in this area, if you could be there every morning, maybe you could prevent something from happening. But you know, that could be feasible, it could be possible, and it does work. But the moment that we're here and we're so short, we still have the rest of the county to think about. And when we don't have the manpower to be in the rest of the county, wrecks are continuously happening. I don't know to tell you specifically on the statistics, but I know the last couple months, Wayne County, the Highway Patrol takes their own statistics, and we're compared as far as the amount of manpower that we have to the amount of calls that we receive from the motoring public. In Wayne County, in a large area, which entails Raleigh and Wilson County and Durham County, all these counties, and for the last several months, we have been up there into like the top 3 as far as call volumes coming in. So Wayne County is a very busy county, and it entails to a lot of traffic collisions, and a lot of people broke down, and just a lot of small things sometimes equal a large amount of time, and it just makes it tough sometimes.
Well, look, now you're getting a lot of call volume. Well, I guess that's good. People are paying attention to what's going on around them, and they will call the Highway Patrol office to report something. Is that the idea? Is that what you're saying?
Somewhat.
Somewhat.
Yes, somewhat. When I'm talking about call volume, I am talking about, you know, we do have our share of people who call in who report things. You know, I don't know who the person was this morning that was behind someone who was on Highway 13 South. They called the Highway Patrol, and they also contacted the Sheriff's Department in reference to the person they were following appeared to them to be impaired. You know, we do get those type of calls. The call volume I'm going to talk about is actual motor vehicle collisions that have already occurred.
I see.
Or stranded motorists that are broke down. Everybody has to be treated equal, you know, and we can't rush when we get to one person that maybe broke down. We got to make sure that person gets back up and is in motion before we can go help the next person. Those are the type of call volumes I'm talking about, and those calls are nonstop. They're just coming in. Wayne County is a very, very busy county, and to be such a beautiful place and to be a small county, you wouldn't think that it would be as busy as it is, but it is a very, very busy place.
Well, do calls from the public help?
Absolutely. You know, there's a lot of times people are on the road, and people are seeing things out there that, of course, we're not there, so we can't see it. And for us to be able to help you in what you're seeing, you got to get us there. So people call, and the sad thing about that, though, is a lot of times we're already occupied or so busy on something else that sometimes it makes it so tough to get to the people who are calling. And then sometimes the complaints continue to go further. Why wasn't the trooper there? Why didn't the trooper respond? And sometimes it's the people who have been maybe in a car crash, and you guys that may be in a wreck, and you might have to sit there for a little while. And if I am called or dispatched out to come to you to take care of the investigation for the wreck that you were in, and if it's almost an hour, sometimes it's an hour before I can get to you, it's simply because I might be the only trooper working this entire county. And then some people say, well, man, I rode through Wayne County and I saw all these troopers there. But what a lot of people don't understand is troopers are passing through this county all the time. Yeah. And a lot of times that is what the motoring public is seeing.
Right.
And it's not us troopers who are assigned to this county, because most time us that are assigned to this county, we're going as hard as we can to answer these calls.
You know, I'm glad you brought that up, because I see them as well. They're passing through, a lot of troopers from other parts of the state. They have jurisdiction if they see a traffic accident or they see someone breaking the law. They have jurisdiction to stop and investigate where they are, but they don't answer calls here. They're passing through.
That's right. They're just simply passing through. When I have to travel the roads, there's a lot of times, a lot of counties that I go through, and I'll run up on stuff.
Yeah.
And the last thing as a trooper that you want to do, or a law enforcement in general, I think, period, is to turn face and to keep going. I know I would want someone, it don't matter what county they may be from, if it was some of my family or friends that were broke down on the road, or just needed some attention, or maybe needed us to call someone for them.
Yeah.
So we get a lot of that here, and a lot of people sometimes think that we have a large number of troopers that work in this county, when in actuality we don't. Right now we only got 9 troopers on the road in this county, and so we're really
struggling. Not give out too much information there.
Yeah, not too much information, but that's just the truth, guys, and
yeah.
it makes it tough on us. And
it does, and there are some people, thank goodness not very many, who would abuse that, who would call for frivolous calls of some sort, some things that could be handled by other agencies, or just not even a call at all. I know you guys get a lot of calls you shouldn't even be getting.
Absolutely.
But you have to respond.
We have to respond. You know, our communication is crazy how the state's broke up. You know, we have 100 counties in the state, and we're all broken up into these troops. And I work out of Troop C, and it entails many counties. And, you know, it doesn't matter who calls in. That call then is going to be dispatched out to whatever county that call is supposed to go to, and a trooper is going to have to respond. We all see things out on the road. When I'm not working, I see things all the time. All the time I see stuff that could really use some attention, and it'd be nice to have a law enforcement officer or a trooper to be there that maybe could correct, if there's a problem, maybe correct that problem. But the problems are still going to be there, and sometimes we could avoid a lot of these calls, and a lot of it's a sad thing when I might have to be up in Fremont and travel all the way down to Seven Springs on a call that really isn't going to change anything, and it's going on all over the county. And a lot of times we get calls on, and I know it can be very aggravating, it can be very annoying. But it seems like today everybody rides four-wheelers, or they're going to be on a golf cart or something.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's tough for us to get to those calls because we're out investigating wrecks, and wrecks where people are actually going to the hospital. And you know, those things are always going to take precedent. And so a lot of times people get very annoyed or aggravating when they call in and wanting us to go do something about people. They've seen somebody ride down the road on a four-wheeler or something like that. Sometimes it's just tough to get to all the calls.
I can understand that. I do, and I know you get to the calls as quickly as you can. You have your hands full. What about DUI? People driving under the influence. Is that better than it used to be? Is it
Thank
worse than
God,
it
I
used
want to
be?
say it is got better.
Really?
I want to say it has.
Yeah.
You know, man, I forget what the number is. What statistics showed one time that a person who normally drinks and drive, how many times? I don't know if it was close to 100 times that they will actually be successful in doing that before they are either involved in something such as a wreck or they're stopped by law enforcement. But I want to say that the number is a lot better for us than what it used to be. But then again, you know, we are so tied up on calls and stuff, and it just might be a case where we're not actually being able to be as proactive as we need. And everything today, and for us here in Wayne County, is more of a reactive. And that is not good for everybody. You know, everybody expects us to be out there and to try to prevent wrecks from happening, to try to prevent people from drinking and driving. Mm-hmm. And actually what we're doing today is we are responding to people who are being involved in wrecks, and we're responding to people who are intoxicated and out on the roads driving.
So your role is more reactive rather than
absolutely.
preventive.
And it's a bad situation to be in, and it's going to be a hard situation to get turned around. And the only way that we could ever get that situation turned around is we have to increase manpower. Yeah. Without manpower, we are nothing, and we will always just be reactive instead of proactive.
Well, I'll tell you, if anyone sees someone who is obviously breaking the law on the highways, they should contact the Highway Patrol. Is it Star HP? It's
Star HP, or it's Star 47.
Star 47 on your phone.
Guys, I would say as a trooper who works this road, I work the road every day. It is a collaboration of all of us working together to make it better for everybody who are traveling the roads. Because when I'm not working, I'm traveling the roads, my family's traveling the roads. And there's just a small portion that, as a trooper, I'm capable of doing to try to make our roads around here better for you to travel on every day. You are going to see things. We all see things. Some things are really important that people call and, you know, maybe try to get law enforcement there to help you out with what you see, because you do make a difference. You make a huge difference, and there are a lot of people who are arrested that are driving under the influence, whether it be drugs or alcohol, that are caught in by the motoring public that law enforcement's not there and can see. Right. So we do want people to continue. Please help us out with that. Help yourselves. Help your family out by let's get those people removed off of the roadway. But the calls that really don't change anything, or they're going on everywhere in the county, and we can respond to this one, take care of this one, but once we do that, then it's happening in 10 or 20 other locations in the county. Those are the calls sometimes that slow us down or stop us from being out there and being proactive as what everybody is hoping we'll be.
So, bottom line, don't drink and drive.
Please don't drink and drive.
And if you see someone, because you have to think about your family. I mean, why would somebody who drinks and drive get to put their family in the car with them? And they're drinking and driving.
Especially the children. The children are caught up in it so much. And, you know, what a lot of people don't understand, when someone who is impaired and that person crashes a vehicle, or that person crashes into me or my family, and me and my family are sober, and, you know, we're trying to do the best that we can do, and we're doing what we think is the right thing to be out there doing. And then here comes this impaired driver, and they crash into us. Where impairment puts your body in a state of relaxation. And it slows down everything, and most of the time most of the time, those drivers will escape away with minor injuries versus the ones that are not impaired.
Right.
Because the body is in such a relaxed state,
Yeah.
almost like the people who drive down the road. And I know there's a lot of people who have probably heard or know somebody who has fallen asleep at the wheel.
Yeah.
A lot of times those motorists, they come out pretty good in sometimes very intense crashes because the body is such a relaxed state.
Whereas
Man,
someone
we
who's
just-
not impaired, they tense up.
Absolutely, it just makes it bad. I just wish that people are going to drink. Just beg you, please do not mix it with the highway. It's so unfair to everybody else.
It is unfair to everybody
It's
else.
very unfair.
To yourself and your family. If you don't care about yourself, at least care for your family. And please, I have seen the damage done by not wearing seat belts. I've seen that. And I know you see it every day.
Yes, sir.
It's not smart not to drive without a seat belt. It's just
Absolutely.
not smart at all. And you put your family in danger when you do that.
Absolutely. You know, seatbelt being, when we talk about vehicles, we talk about speed. Speed is the #1 killer. You can compare it to cancer, to anything else in the world. Speed is it. Everybody's on the roadways, and speed is our #1 demon. And of course, the more speed you got, the higher intensity the crash is whenever you're involved in a collision.
Right.
Even if you really haven't caused the collision, and you have speed involved, man, it really intensifies everything at that point. Then you go back to seatbelts. Now we talk about motor vehicle collisions, and we talk about seatbelts. Seatbelts then become #2 killer. So seatbelts are, I have always said, as a grown person, we don't write the law. The only thing that we can do is we are instructed to carry out the law, to make sure as many people as possible follow the law, and to try to do what we're all supposed to be doing to try to make it smoother.
Mm.
If I had my way, I wish as a grown person, it was your choice whether you wanted to wear a seatbelt or not. I've always been that way. I think if people could come out and could see what we have to see,
Mm-hmm.
if they could ride the roads a month and go to the collisions that we have to go to where people don't have seatbelts on, and the amount of injuries, and sometimes sometimes it does take people's lives, and then if it doesn't take your life, the injuries you have to live with for the remainder of your life possibly could have been avoided if you wear your seatbelt. Look, Wayne, I always say this. I love roller coasters. You know, I have not met a person yet that would ride a roller coaster and not be buckled in.
Right.
But my question to you would then be, why not? How many roller coasters kill people? Hardly none.
That's right. Because they're buckled in.
But cars kill people every day.
That's right.
And nobody wants to buckle up.
And
You
cars are
know-
going a lot faster.
I wish it was your own choice. Unfortunately, it's not.
It's not.
It's the law, and that law was put into place for a reason, and it's just to try to save and protect lives, and that's where the seatbelt law comes in at, and
That's right.
it's tough, you
Yeah.
know.
Again, if you care for your family, you'll make sure they're buckled in safely.
Absolutely.
And if you care for your family caring for you, you'll make sure you're buckled in as well.
Absolutely.
All right, well, Benny, we'll encourage everyone, if they see a problem on the highway, star HP is the number to call.
Star HP, yes, sir.
Drive with common sense. Drive like you know what you're doing. Pay attention. It's that simple.
It's just that simple. And if I can add one thing, what I would beg more than anything is you know, if people are paying attention, and if you guys, I'm gonna say me too, all of us collectively as a whole, if we are driving and just simply using common sense, a lot of times I might have to stop someone and talk to them about something, and I always get that they didn't know it was the law. But if you'll just put common sense back into it, and a lot of this will come back to the move over law, where a lot of people will not move over. For us that are trying to conduct business on the side of the road, whether it be a vehicle collision, whether it be someone broken down on the side of the road, we're stopping people for breaking the law or whatever, we are only on the side of that road to address what matter we have to be on the side of that road, and other than that, we're gone. We do not want to be on the side of the road.
No.
Please, we ask that you move your vehicle over. If you know, the other day it was on 795, and I had to stop a lady because Trooper Cook had someone stop, and to try to support him a little bit, I got back a little ways, and I had all my equipment going. And a lady come right by, and I clocked her at 70 miles an hour, and while Trooper Cook had his back turned, right by his back. And I understand that she could not get over, because with the move over law is you must move your vehicle into the furthest lane possible, if possible, or if you can't, you must decrease your speed to a very safe speed until you pass whatever emergency personnel may be on the side of the road. And her comment was to me that the speed limit was 70 on 795, and as long as she's doing the speed limit, she is not breaking no laws. And what I try to explain to her, let's say that it don't matter who we're out there with, but let's say, Wayne, that I had your mama and I was helping your mama or whatever, your car was broke down, I was helping her out of the vehicle. And if that elderly person or another trooper was out there fighting someone and we fell out into the path of an oncoming vehicle, most of the time, if anybody, you look at me, I'm a smaller guy, if someone was to fall, it would be hard for me just to catch them and stand them right back up. Most of the time I might be able to break their fall and I might go with them. Well, if a vehicle's coming at 70 miles an hour, now me and that person are done. Mm-hmm. Just please, we ask, common sense is key, man. Common sense. Common sense. Absolutely.
But there is a law that says you must move over.
You must move over.
If you can't move over, you must slow down.
You must. It's just that simple.
It's just, that's not rocket science.
It's really not.
That just.
And if it was you guys on the side of the road and we were there helping you, or you had a flat tire, or whatever the case was, your radiator was busted, you want that traffic to slow down. So why not give the same thing in return if it's someone else that's on the side of the road that you don't know who it is? Mm-hmm. Slow down or get your vehicle completely away. Yeah, it's just a dangerous world out there.
It is dangerous.
It's a very dangerous
I tell you
world.
what, you guys do a wonderful job. I'm proud of our North Carolina Highway Patrol Service here. You guys do a wonderful job, and please pay attention to what you're doing. Give these guys the respect they earn and deserve. And Benny, I appreciate you coming in. I hope you're able to come back real soon.
Man, I hope so. Thank you guys for having us, and please, anybody call us if you need us.
That's right. And they're there. They will be there.
We will try to be there as quick as possible.
Trooper Benny Grady. Troop C here in
Troop C, yes sir.
Wayne County. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Wayne, for having me. Yes, sir.
Back on WGTV today, it's can you believe it's the 4th of December? Look at this. I wrote down January. What is this?
What month do you think it is,
I have
Wayne?
no idea. Where are we?
My goodness, don't wish the days away.
Oh, no, I wouldn't want to do that.
No, sir, we need to enjoy every single day.
But we're really happy to be here in Atlanta. No, we're happy to be here in Wayne County, North Carolina.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. It is December 4th, 2K12. Thank you for being with us. And that was Benny Grady. And Benny is just, you can tell he's very passionate about his job. I just love the guy. He's great. And there's so many people, members of the Highway Patrol, who share his passion, his whole
love for the
idea,
job,
his love of the job, indeed. Yeah. So please be careful this holiday season. Make sure you're wearing your seatbelt, and please, as you heard Benny mention, please pay attention.
Yes, no texting and driving.
Oh, yeah, that's the worst. That is the worst. And I tell you, have you seen those PSAs, public service announcements on TV that are done by young people?
Yes, a few of those
They
I have.
are very good.
Yeah, they'll really move you.
They hit home.
Yeah.
You need to pay attention. It's not only to driving, but to those public service announcements as well, because they're very good. Mm-hmm. But please pay attention to your driving. Make sure your family is buckled up in their seatbelts, and don't drink and drive, please. Mm-hmm. All right.
So what's going on? What you got for us?
Well, I have today is Eat an Oreo Cookie Day. Do you like Oreo cookies?
Eat them all the time.
Do you really?
Got
now,
some in the pantry
do
at
you
home?
break them apart and then?
Yeah, twist it.
Do you twist it? And
I
then
don't know why.
Well, it's
just twist it and then pull it. Make sure there is icing on both parts.
sides. Yeah.
If there's not, they go back together and you do it again.
Oh, really?
Not kidding.
I never put it back together.
Really?
That's maybe
like
that's.
Humpty Dumpty, you don't ever put it back together.
I
again.
never put it. I just who can? Hey, how do you wait and do it again? You know, I'm in such a hurry anyway. Do you put yours in milk or do you just
No,
eat?
I'm not a fan.
Okay, you're not a milk dipper.
Nope.
Okay.
Not.
I used to be a big dipper. Yeah. But anyway, that's eat an Oreo cookie day today, and remember to floss. Okay. It's also Short People Day. Thank you very much.
Well, that's good because
That's good.
we appreciate that.
I'm pretty close to the ground myself. So today is Short People Day, marking the birth anniversary of one General Tom Thumb, born this day, 1888.
I have a
Excuse me,
family member
1838.
that calls it vertically challenged.
Yes.
vertically challenged.
Vertically challenged, yes. Today is also Dimpled Chad Day. Does that ring a bell?
Yes,
the
back in
Dimpled
Florida.
Chads? That's right. The day commemorating all the Dimpled Chads left over from various contested elections.
Yes.
Today is Trivia Day. It's National Spaghetti Day.
Okay, like that.
It's also the day Utah admitted to being part of the Union, or was admitted to the Union, the 45th state, just before 1900, 45th state.
45th state.
And it's Independence Day in Myanmar,
In where?
Burma.
Okay.
Burma changed its name to Myanmar a few years ago. Cristoforo Colombo was
Yes.
his real name, but we Americanized it to Christopher Columbus. Columbus sailed the deep blue sea in 1493.
Yes, he did.
Okay, I took liberty with that, but in 1493 he went back to Europe from what he thought was India with 6 Native Americans he called Indians. Of course, that's what he thought. They knew where they were, and they didn't tell him that he was not in India. One of them said to the other, hey, this guy Chris, he's going to take us on a cruise. We've been to the Bahamas, now he's going to take us to Europe. So they got on his boat, and they took off for Europe.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Anyway, that's what happened. Let's see, what else do we have here? Elvis Presley paid Sun Records. You know, he walked into the
Sun
studio.
Records?
Sun. Walked into the studio and paid Sam Phillips $4
To do what?
to record 2 songs for his mother.
Ooh, they're a lot pricier these days.
Elvis loved his mama.
Yes.
Oh, I'm telling you, Gladys Smith was a sweetheart of a lady, and he loved his mother. He sang My Happiness, and that's when the heartaches began. The session took 10 minutes, and then he went back to work at the machine shop.
Well, how about that? Recorded a song for his mama.
That happened on this day in 1954. And after that, man, it was a whirlwind. I mean, it took off. Sam Phillips,
Yes.
being the genius he was,
He
took
saw
off.
that star.
Yeah,
that
immediately.
Yes, sir. He knew.
He sure did. All right. What you got?
I have got, let's see, December 8th and 9th at the Paramount Theater, a twist. We have the 5th annual Christmas Carol at the Paramount Theater.
That's a twist.
It is a twist, and it's going to be presented by Center Stage Theater, of course. Local people in our community that gather together that have a love of drama and are very talented individuals.
That they are.
It'll be Saturday and Sunday, December 8th and 9th. They'll have an afternoon matinee at 3 p.m. on Sunday. Let's see, yes, 5th annual. They've done it for 5 years in a row.
Wow. That's great.
Go out and support your local community.
Yeah. And support
Christmas
your
Carol.
local actors and
Of course,
local theater.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's
And
great.
They may have a Friday show, but I don't have any documentation of that.
okay.
But you can go to the Paramount's website, I'm sure, and find out all kinds of details.
Oh, yeah.
Or join them on Facebook, if you're a Facebook user.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the ticket. Diane Cannon is 75 today. For a while, she was married to Archibald Leach, whom we know better as, what's his name?
I don't know.
Cary
Cary Grant.
Thank you, yes. Cary Grant.
Cary Grant.
Judy, Judy, Judy. Which he never said, by the way. Goober said that. Anyway, birthday today also for Patty Loveless. She's 55.
Oh, yeah.
And there you go.
That's the only birthday?
No, there's several, but I don't.
You don't recognize any?
Well, I barely recognize any of them. But anyway, a guy with REM, you know who REM is,
Yep.
and he's 52. Michael Stipe is with REM. He's having a birthday. Julia Ormond is 47 today. She's an actress. Jeremy Licht is 41. The actor is Licht.
I don't know. Don't recognize him.
Okay.
We just can't put a face with a name.
He's one of those people you'd know him if you saw him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
There you go. In fact, people don't understand generally that character actors is what you see more often than anybody
Oh,
else.
yes.
There's all kinds of big-time stars for movies and TV, but you don't see them as often as you see the character actors.
That's
Paul
exactly
Fix
right.
was one of them. Paul Fix was, gee whiz, he played so many things. But I know him best as the marshal on The Rifleman,
Okay.
Micah. And Micah was played by a guy named Paul Fix, and he was in over 300 different titled shows, programs, movies, etc. And which is highly unusual when some of the big name stars only get to like 20 or
Yeah.
30.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's only one. And the character actors are the ones that really make the movies. They set the tone, they set the stage. It's the big people
Yeah.
that you only hear about and see.
That's true. That's true.
But anyhow, I digress. Moving on to
It
something
happens.
else. What else do we have here? Jesse Ventura became governor.
What year was that?
This was in 1999, the 37th governor of Minnesota.
Minnesota it was, huh?
Yeah, see, it's so cold up there, your brain gets cold and it doesn't think too quickly. So
Is that what it
anyway,
is?
I don't know. I don't know why he was elected, but he was. But it doesn't really matter to me because this is North Carolina and they are Minnesota. Yeah. I guess that's it.
I guess that's it. I think we are finished for now.
For now.
We
That's
sure
it for
are.
now. That's it. Okay, coming up next.
Yes.
Coming,
Yes.
okay.
Who do we have next?
Sign language. I love sign. Up next, we have Kimberly from
That's
Kim
right.
Barrier from the American Red Cross is with us this morning. Talk about blood drives and such here on WGTV Today. Today we're talking with Kim Barrier. Kim, you're with the Red Cross. What is your title with the Red Cross? What do you do?
I am a senior donor recruitment rep. I help people in the county sponsor blood drives.
Blood drive. So when there's a blood drive in the Wayne County area, you're right in the middle of getting it all lined up, getting it set up and everything.
It is led by volunteers mostly, but yes, I lend a hand where they need it.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Now there's a lot of organizations, companies, businesses who have been part of the Red Cross volunteer system for many years, and they set up blood drives, and for many years, and some twice a year, they go ahead and have their blood drives, and they have a lot of fun with it, and they get a lot of blood collected. But there's also people who have said to themselves, you know, I wonder how I could get a blood drive here at my place of business. I bet you could help with that.
Sure, or their church or their community organization. I can. That's exactly what I do. If somebody in the Wayne County area wanted to sponsor a blood drive, they would find me somehow online most of the time, call the local chapter, they can get in touch with me, and then I'd go out and meet with them. We'd go over the first few steps to get started. Try to determine, the biggest thing to determine in the beginning is this a good idea? Because we could think it's a great idea and we'd have 5 people show up.
Oh, yeah.
Or we could think it's a great idea and 50 other people could think it's a great idea too, and we wouldn't be prepared for the 50 that show
Right.
up. So we've got to find a happy balance, and that's where we do that first step is the pledge process. So it's just kind of getting an idea of how many people would be interested in giving.
So you have to kind of plan it out. You have to have an idea of how many people are going to actually be able to donate. So I'm going to post the number on the screen here, 735 7291.
7201. You were close. 735-7201.
7201. Okay. But it's 735-7201, that's right. But I'll post that number there, and anyone who wants to contact you, it's Kim Barrier, Berrier.
Correct.
All right. Now, it's not only for Wayne County. You cover a very large area, don't you?
I cover 4 counties.
4 counties. All right.
Yeah.
They are
Harnett, Cumberland, and Hoke, and Wayne.
really. So you're in the Dunn and Lillington area.
I am.
You're in Hoke County.
I am. Yeah.
And
And, and Fayetteville, and it's a good territory. People really respond to our need. When we tell them we need something, they're there for us. At times it's very touching.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
And I know here in Wayne County, I know we have a great system set up. I know there's a lot of donors here in Wayne County that give blood on a regular basis.
On a very regular basis.
And they can give every 56 days.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, in your position as in what you do and lining up blood drives and that sort of thing, you do have some things to talk about. Tell us what you want everyone to know about today.
Well, we have promotions. We have quarterly promotions that when you come in and give blood, if you try to give blood, you're automatically registered to win. And we try to build the campaign around the time of year, what's going on with the blood supply. So there's an educational element to it as well. We need blood every day of the year. Every month of the year.
Oh, yeah.
The need never goes away.
Of course you do.
So we're constantly trying to come up with new ways to educate and motivate people
Right.
to not only sponsor blood drives, but to come into the drives that we have scheduled. So for December, we are running a promotion called Give Something That Means Something.
Right.
It's the holiday season, and people are shopping and looking for the most perfect Christmas present for the 15 people they have on their list.
Right.
What better gift to give than to give the gift of blood?
Exactly.
It's giving life. There's
is.
There's no substitute for blood, and there's no substitute for that volunteer blood drive sponsor. So give something that means something. You can go to redcrossblood.org and find all the details, but you'll automatically be entered to win a $1,000 gift card. And it is a quarterly promotion, and it does cover everybody in the area that gives. It's not specific to one drive or another. So that's one thing. But in January, we will change up that promotion, and the January promotion will be January, February, and March, and it will be Build a Better Blood Supply.
Okay.
Yeah, we tend to see a dip in the number of donors presenting at blood drives in January. People are just exhausted after the holidays and want a break.
Tired, yes. Yes.
So it's Build a Better Blood Supply. Hopefully it'll intrigue enough people to say, if this is something that we need to build a better blood supply, it's something that we need to work on. It's something that we need to think about. So if you don't get to give in December for the Give Something That Means Something promotion, you can give in January and help build a better blood supply. And again, you'll be entered to win a $1,000 gift card to a home improvement store of your choice.
That's gravy on the.
It is
on the-
gravy.
Gravy on the cake, or something like that. Icing on the cake. But see, here the whole thing is that we want people to understand that giving blood is the most wonderful gift you can give, because, as Kim said, you're giving life to
Yes,
someone.
absolutely.
You're saving a life. 1 unit of blood can help 3 people. 3 people.
Save 3 lives.
Indeed. So that's the best reason to give right there. And in addition to all that, you may win a $1,000 gift card. That's wonderful. I hope you do. But you can't win if you don't give.
That's right. And the good thing about giving in January, if you give in January and come back again in March when you're eligible, you'll be entered to win both times.
Oh,
so you'll
boy.
get 2 entries
Two
into
entries.
the $1,000 gift card.
Well, Kim, how difficult is it for a church or a school or a business to set up a blood drive?
It's not difficult at all. We have a new sponsor packet that spells out all of the benefits of sponsorship and all the things that we need in order to sponsor a drive. If you don't have a fellowship hall at your church, or a place where we can set up at your company in a conference room, then we do have our buses available. It's not as hard as people think it is to sponsor a drive, and it's certainly not as hard to give. It's very easy to do both, but it does take a little bit of dedication and organization.
It does that, and I tell you, once you do it one time, you'll want to do it from now on, because
so.
it is a wonderful. It's a great experience.
Yeah, it really is.
It is a great experience, and I can't say enough about it. It's just, you do a wonderful job with the Red Cross, and
Thank you.
there's always room for more. So if you're a business owner or a business manager and you want and as a side note, it actually helps bring exposure to your business.
Absolutely, that's one of the benefits of sponsorship.
Indeed,
it does
it
bring
does.
you some exposure.
It does.
It does. It takes a little bit of time to build up that exposure.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen in one blood drive, but it definitely does bring exposure. And it's very easy for people to donate. And you'll find a lot of eligible donors where you don't even think you will.
That's right.
The basic requirements are 17 years of age, 110 pounds, at least 110 pounds, and generally good health.
I'm glad you said at least 110 pounds.
At least.
Yeah, at least. Anything over that, right? Okay.
Yeah. And actually, 16-year-olds can donate.
Really?
Yes, the 16-year-olds can donate in North Carolina as long as they have signed parental consent.
Okay.
Red Cross provides the consent form, and the parent can come with the child and give. They can both give together at the same time. That would be cool.
Wow, that's great.
but if the parent can't come with the child for whatever reason, then we can provide the form ahead of time, and they can bring it with them to the blood drive. So
That's wonderful, and it's great to get a young person off on the right foot, get them started
Absolutely.
giving blood, donating blood. It's just a great thing to do. It's
It
the right
is.
thing to do.
It is. We have a huge program, huge young donor program in this county.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
huge.
yeah.
And we see our efforts continue on when those students leave high school and get to college. They will continue to give.
That's right.
And they'll continue to give in their 20s and 30s. And those are typically, especially the 20s after college, are your transitional years.
Yes.
You're still trying to figure out who you are.
Who am I? Oh, yeah.
Trying to catch people then for the first time to
Yeah.
donate is can be a bit tricky. But if we get them ahead of time, they're much more likely to stick with it.
It's amazing to me, some of the biggest blood drives you have consistently are at schools.
Oh, yes.
At high schools.
Yes.
Some of the biggest.
Yes.
And that's not only students, of course. The students who cannot give will go home to their parents and say, look, Mom, Dad, you got to come with me to the blood drive thing at
Yeah,
the school.
they will recruit a surrogate donor for
Sure.
us. They sure
So
will.
some of the biggest ones are at high schools.
High schools. Mhm.
And of course, you also have big ones at the hospital. You have
We
big
do.
blood drives at CCOG.
Yeah.
And that's a big one.
and
And so there's plenty of places to give blood, but again, there's never enough.
There's never enough. Blood actually has an expiration date. You know,
It does.
It does. It expires. Red cells only last 42 days after they've been donated,
Mm-hmm.
and platelets only last 5.
5 days.
5 days, that's
know
it.
that.
So that's why we constantly need people donating every day in order to service the 103 hospitals in North Carolina.
I recall a news story sometime last 2 or 3 years where somebody who obviously didn't understand this was complaining about the Red Cross throwing away blood.
Yeah.
Well, that was blood that had expired.
Well, and actually, that's not even. You could say it that way, but part of every unit is used because the platelets only have a 5-day shelf life.
Yeah.
A lot of times, what we will do is actually separate the components from each other, so that we have an individual packed red cell,
Okay.
an individual plasma unit, and an individual platelet unit. So even if the red cells did expire, which doesn't happen very often. We still use those platelets.
Still use
So we're trying to be good stewards of everything that is donated to us, a person's time and their blood.
Yeah.
And so we do use the platelets.
I think somebody was just trying to cause trouble is what it was. But, you know, but
Well,
Red
but there's
Cross,
so much information out there.
I
Yeah.
know, there is. So
It
who
can
do you believe?
easily be misunderstood.
It can. It
Yeah.
certainly can. And I want you to know right now, the Red Cross receives no money from the U.S. government.
No.
None.
No,
It's all
zero.
volunteer. It's all by donation. All of it.
I said earlier we are very much an organization led by volunteers.
Indeed.
We very much are. We depend greatly on our volunteers. In fact, so much so that the blood supply is 100% volunteer blood donors. Red Cross does not pay anyone to give blood. Hospitals will not take blood that has been paid for, meaning that if I know I'm going to get paid at the end of the donation process, which really doesn't make it much of a donation, but if I know I'm going to get paid at the end of the process, I might not be as forthcoming with my health history.
That's true.
I could cause myself issues. I could cause patients issues. So hospitals will not take blood that's been paid for. It has to be given voluntarily.
Voluntarily. And the blood, you can be assured the blood is safe because there's a process. Once you start the blood process, blood giving process, you go through and there's tests done
Yeah.
and there's questions asked and
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
safe process.
We actually have it's very safe for donors to give blood. It's 100% safe for donors to give
Oh,
blood.
yes.
I've given over 60 units myself.
Have you?
I look fairly normal, right? Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
look very normal.
Didn't hurt me a bit. But it's even safer for people to actually receive blood because of all the precautions that we take. You know, some of the times that I talk to multi-gallon donors like myself, they're like, why do I have to answer all those questions? They're the same questions every time. Why? That's part of the keeping it safe process.
Exactly.
You never know where you may have traveled in the time in between your donations that could defer you temporarily.
That's right.
So we just want to make sure that nothing in your history has changed. That's why we ask the same questions of the same donor every time.
And that's fine.
Yes.
Because if I'm on the receiving end of blood, I want to
Exactly.
make sure from wherever that blood comes, it's safe. And that's one way.
And that's one way to do it. We also want to make sure that donors feel comfortable telling us their health history. So we make the areas as confidential as we can so that you can have a one-on-one conversation and feel comfortable answering those questions. And then from there, it's just a matter of making sure that we test every unit for every. We have 14 different tests that we run, and we run them on every unit every time. is that it's very safe.
It is safe. So if you are a company, business owner, business manager, if you're a school, if you're just a family with a big family or neighborhood, and you want to challenge the family down the street to a blood drive, let's do it, okay? Call Kim
Sounds good to
Barrier.
me.
For any questions, you can call the Red Cross office and talk to Chuck or anybody there for that matter at
Yep.
735-7201.
A one, got it right.
Or you can call Kim Barrier and set up a blood drive at your place by calling 735-7201.
And redcrossblood.org is fabulous. We have completely upgraded, revamped, redone. It's great. It's got so much information, not just on giving blood, but the history of blood. So if you're really interested in the history of blood transfusion,
I want to know the history of blood.
it's got everything for young donors, multi-gallon donors. You can find any blood drive in your area just by putting in your zip code. And we also now have the ability for donors to create their own donor profile.
Oh.
Yes, much like you would create your own little profile on Facebook. You can create your own donor profile.
Oh, about
it
that.
It tracks when you gave last, when you're eligible to give again, and what blood drives are coming up in that time frame.
Wow, okay.
So go to redcrossblood.org and create a donor profile, and you can track it all yourself.
Redcross.org.
Redcrossblood.org.
Redcrossblood.org to create your own profile.
Donor profile, yes.
Okay.
And it'll give you all kinds of great information too.
All right. Kim, thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
We are out of time. It's great to see you
You
always.
too. Thanks for being here.
Give blood. It's the right thing to do. At this time of the year especially, it's the greatest gift you can give.
Give something that means something.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, Kim.
Thank you.
Judy. Okay, maybe he didn't say that, but he should have. All right.
That's Cary Grant he's
Yeah,
talking
well,
about.
yeah, right. Okay, I think, yeah, okay. Welcome back. This is WGTV Today, and gee whiz, this is the last segment of the program here.
It is. We're wrapping up the show today.
Not just wrapping, we're wrapping up
Yes, we are.
the program for today. But you know, he's not the only one who is often associated with something that he was supposedly supposed to have said, but didn't actually say. Like,
Who else?
well, one thing that comes to mind is on the TV show Dragnet,
Yes.
Just the Facts, Ma'am.
Okay.
He never said it.
Really?
He never said just the facts, ma'am. He said something similar.
And
Many
somebody
times
thought
he
they
said,
heard that
yeah,
maybe?
he said just the facts, Or he said thank you, ma'am, or something like that, and they put it together, and that's been a running gag for many years. But he
Yeah.
never said that, and there's several of those out there that are associated with actors having said something, but I don't know. You can credit that to impersonators, Rich Little.
Well, he was a good one years ago, wasn't he?
Oh my goodness, yes, he was so good. Yeah, and he's still doing it. He's still around doing things as well. Anyway,
Well, don't forget, we want to hear about your holiday traditions, and
Yeah.
we'll share them on the air. And we also want to remind you, you'll be hearing about the Kids Spotlight soon. In the next day or
yes.
two.
Oh boy.
In the next day or
Now,
two,
that
you're
is
going to see
exciting.
it. That's
Looking
right.
forward-
And this
looking forward to
weekend's
that.
Jingle in the Park. Join us down there, Herman Park Center. We'd love to see you at 4 p.m.
That's right. Don't forget, today is the 4th, and that means this morning at 8 o'clock, the briefing of the Wayne County Commissioners gets underway in courtroom number 1 here on the 3rd floor of the Wayne County Courthouse, and then the formal meeting gets underway with the swearing in of the new board beginning at 9 a.m. this morning here in the
right.
courthouse. We hope you're there.
And if you missed the City Council meeting last night, you can view it on our YouTube channel and our Vimeo channel, and you can access both of those from the City of Goldsboro's website, goldsboronc.gov.
That's exactly right. And be sure you join us every morning right here at 7
That's
o'clock. And if
right.
you can join us, you can watch the program on YouTube.
Or later in the day on the show,
Indeed, you can.
on the channel.
7 o'clock every morning until 8 o'clock. We're right here for you on WGTV Today on Channel 10 or Channel 99.
That's right.
And if you miss that, then you can join us at noon, and then again at 5:30, and then again at either 8 o'clock or 11 o'clock. So until tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best. This is what's happening in your community.